And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we're off. Shalom, everyone. This is Brother Doug with my sister Shoshana, my brother Dennis below me, and we are going to be continuing the book of Enoch. So we are starting Enoch chapter 80. I will have my share screen on for you guys that should be able to see this so you can follow along. Okay, so I think I'll do the honors and start us off from Enoch chapter 80. So here we go. And in those days, the Malach, Uriel, answered and said to me, "See, I have shown you all matters, Hanak, and I have revealed all to you that you should see this sun, and this moon, and the leaders of the stars of the Shamayim, and all those who turn them, their tasks and times and departures. And in the days of the transgressors, the years shall be shortened, and their seed shall be late on their lands and fields, and all on the earth shall alter, and shall not appear in their time, and the rain shall not be kept back, and the heavens shall withhold. And in those times the fruits of the earth shall be backward, and shall not grow in their time, and the fruits of the tree shall be withheld in their time, and not appear at her time. And in those days the sun shall be seen, and he shall journey in the evening on the extremity of the great chariot in the west, and shall shine more brightly than accordance with the order of light. And many chiefs of the stars shall transgress the order, and these shall alter their orbits and tasks, and not appear at the seasons prescribed to them. And the whole order of the stars shall be concealed from the transgressors, and the thoughts of those on the earth shall err concerning them, and they shall be altered from all their ways. Also they shall go astray, and take them to be mighty ones. Interesting. So this is a prophecy. Okay, so this is a pretty short chapter. I think I'll read the next one just because it was a very short 8-verse chapter. So chapter 81. And he said unto me, "Observe, Hanak, these tablets of the Shemaim, the heavens, and read what is written upon them, and mark every individual fact." And I observed the tablets of the heavens, and read all which was written, and understood all matters, and read the book of all the deeds of mankind, and of all the children of flesh that shall be upon the earth, to the remotest generations. And immediately I, Barak, the great master, the king of esteem. I remember so many Christian artists have made songs called that, the king of esteem, forever, in that he has made all the works of the world, and I exalted Yahuwah because of his patience, and Barak him because of the children of men. And after that I said, Baruch is the man who dies in righteousness and goodness, concerning whom there is no book of unrighteousness written, and against whom no day of judgment shall be found. And those 7 Kadashim brought me and placed me on the earth before the door of my house, and said to me, "Declare all matters to your son Methuselah, and show to all your children that no flesh is righteous in the sight of Yahuwah." Wonder if Paul took that in his epistles, because it kind of sounds like what Paul says, that all have fallen short of the esteem of Yahuwah. So that seems like a little endorsement right there. For he is their creator. 1 year we will leave you with your son till you give your commands, that you may teach your children and record for them, and testify to all your children. And in the 2nd year they shall take you from their midst. Let your heart be strong, for the good shall announce righteousness to the good. The righteous with the righteous shall rejoice and shall offer congratulations to one another, but the transgressors shall die with the transgressors, and the backslider go down with the backslider. And those who practice righteousness shall die on the account of the deeds of men, and be taken away on the account of the doings of the wicked. And in those days they ceased to speak to me, and I came to my people giving barakah to the master of the world. And that is the end of chapter 81. So I just read Enoch chapter 80 to 81. So let's see if anyone has any comments. I'm going to unmute Sister Shoshana and unmute Brother Dennis. Pretty interesting 2 chapters there.
Yeah. I had a few comments as I heard it read. First of all, just the fact that things are going, the heavens are going to be out of order, and they will not appear in their time, and rain will be held back. This is the end of days it speaks of, which is our time, and it calls it in the days of the sinners, the years shall be shortened. And this is something that I have definitely noticed, that time is definitely, it seems to be shortened. And even for the young people like you, Doug, and my son, I've heard them say that the years seem to be going by quicker than they usually do. Do you feel that?
I feel like as I'm getting older, the yearly 364-day cycle that we know of is going extremely quicker. Every year I get older, it's going quicker and quicker. So I feel like, and it's kind of weird because that verse that says time will be reversed, I find it interesting because, you know, going back to the whole father time thing, and you know why Satan is so concerned with cracking time, and you know it's kind of weird because the occult, they kind of look at him as like this guy that can, you know, that can basically reverse time in a lot of mythologies like Kronos and all that. And so it's kind of interesting that this verse in Enoch says that time will be reversed. I kind of got too that it's not just talking about the stars and rain in due season, but it might be talking about the appointed times, that they're not coming in their times also, and that it seems like the times are off. You know, in the end days, you know, we're trying to find the right calendar that our Creator has for us. So I don't know. That kind of came to mind when I was reading that. I was like, I wonder if it's even more general than just the luminaries, if it's actually the actual appointed times of Yahuwah, his seasons, that we're not getting correctly. And then it started talking about that people will wander away, they will backslide and start worshiping the signs of the heavens. And that really clicked with me, because nowadays, like, pretty much that's all you see is astrology. That's all you see, like, everywhere. Astrology, you know, deifying the so-called planets are not actually planets, but are actually malachim, angels, heavenly messengers. They've erred in not realizing that they're not planets. I mean, there's a lot of layers that I saw to that. I was like, wow. And it's funny that it says that they shall worship them in those days. And I was like, interesting, because almost every planet is a false deity in our modern world. You got Mars, Jupiter, Uranus, which is a funny name, Let's see what else. You got Venus, which is supposedly like the Greek goddess of war. I mean, so it's like it's kind of interesting what it's saying in chapter 80. 81 was very interesting too, talking about the righteous being with the righteous, the wicked being with the wicked, kind of like a separation, kind of like what Yahusha referred to. I will separate the sheep from the goats. So no longer will we kind of be mixed in with. Will you have believers mixed in with people that are wicked? That really reject the good news, that pretty much love sin. So
this is very interesting. The latter part of verse 7, where it says, yea, they shall err and take them to be gods. And I believe you can find something like that in Daniel 2, if I'm not mistaken. Daniel 2, verse 42.
yeah.
Verse I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
not that they take them as mighty. Now, the 242 is actually talking about the mixing of seeds.
Yes.
That either there's like two interpretations, just for the viewers to know this. There's two popular interpretations that people usually pick one of the two. Some believe that Daniel 243 is talking about a second incursion, that another group like the Watchers are going to come down and mix with humankind. I believe that it's transhumanism. I don't prescribe to the second incursion theory of Daniel 243 that they will mix their seed with mankind is referring to Malachim. That's going to happen again. I don't prescribe to that belief, but some people do. I believe it's talking about literally like flesh and metal, like clay, and clay is usually referred to us like we were made from dirt. So we would be the clay, the iron would most likely be technology mixing with the seed of mankind, which you see in a lot of movies nowadays. So
there is somewhere there is a verse that talks about taking them to be gods. I don't see it in here. I evidently got the wrong one, but this does talk about the iron mixed with clay, and they are mixing themselves with the seed of men, but they're not clinging to each other. And that could be the Nephilim, or it could be, as you say, clay, which is flesh, mixing with metal, which is robot, AI, artificial intelligence. And I know that they're doing these things. They're doing the artificial intelligence mixed with flesh, and they're doing more Nephilim. And by they, I speak of evil men that are learning from these wicked angels that they have called upon to give them knowledge.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything that literally refers to the verse from Enoch you spoken of, but in Revelations it does talk about that they have not repented of the work of their hands. They have not repented of worshiping demons, which in all essence, Greek mythology is demon worship, worshiping of the so-called the gods of the ancient times is worshiping demons. So I think it's all one and the same. I think specifically this prophecy in Enoch is most likely talking about in the end days that the worship of the Malachim is going to come back, that they're going to be worshiping the signs of heavens, just like just like you see in the Tanakh, where the Israelites were led astray to worship the signs of the stars.
Yeah.
And so I think it's more of a prophecy of end times, of that eventually they're going to do this again, like kind of like what Ecclesiastes chapter 1 verse 9 says, that there's nothing new under the sun. It's going to keep happening. And that it's happened back in the day. And a couple of verses from the Tanakh that come to mind to me, which is kind of interesting, that if you don't belong to Yahuwah, you belong to these fallen Malachim, is in the Septuagint you have Deuteronomy 32, 8-9, which literally says, let me just go there real quick and put this on shared screen. And says, let me just do this on share screen real quick. Go here. All right, so Deuteronomy 32, 8-9 in the Septuagint Old Testament says, when the Most High divided the nations, and when he separated the sons of Adam, talking about the Tower of Babel, he set the bounds of the nations according to the number of the Malachim of Elohim. So the angels of Elohim. And his people Jacob became the portion of Yahuwah. So Jacob, meaning Yashrael, Israel, became his portion, his inheritance. And Yashrael was the line of his inheritance. So that's Deuteronomy 32, 8-9. So it seems like what's going to happen, that Enoch's referring to in the last days, kind of happened back at the Tower of Babel, back in, ancient times, and how the Israelites, were separate. We were supposed to be separate to Yahuwah. Believers in Yahushua Messiah were supposed to be his inheritance, and unbelievers are kind of the inheritance of demons and fallen Malachim. They're given into a reprobate mind. They're like, Yahuwah allows them to worship the armies of the sky, in a sense. So I find that very interesting, that it seems what has happened is going to happen again.
Yeah.
So, all right. So I think what we're going to do is, because these are just for new viewers, we have limited 40-minute sessions. So we're going to be starting part 2 in a little bit, but we're going to be ending this recording for now. So please stay tuned, everyone. This is Brother Doug with the Awakened by Yahuwah Fellowship Group. This is my sister Shoshana, my brother Dennis, and please stay tuned. Shalom.